Nobody saw this one coming, not even the people closest to Jim Jones. What started as a quiet night out turned into a full-blown betrayal scandal that's tearing Harlem apart. Rumors are flying faster than ever after shocking footage surfaced of Camron and Chrissy Lampkin allegedly spending a private night together, and the fallout has pushed Jim to his breaking point. It all began when a mysterious video clip leaked online showing Camron leaving a luxury penthouse, the same one Chrissy was seen entering just hours earlier. The clip set the internet on fire. Fans instantly connected the dots, and within minutes, social media was flooded with wild accusations, furious debates, and heartbroken reactions. Jim, who had already been keeping a low profile since his last public meltdown, reportedly found out this same night, and insiders say his reaction was unlike anything they've ever seen. According to one witness, he lost it completely. It wasn't anger anymore, it was pain. Now, whispers from inside Dipset's circle claim this wasn't the first time Cam and Chrissy's paths crossed privately. Old messages, deleted posts, K and late-night sightings are all being re-examined as fans try to uncover the truth. But the real question is, was this an innocent misunderstanding? Or the ultimate act of betrayal that finally shattered everything Jim and Chrissy built together? The internet went absolutely wild when whispers of a shocking night between Camron and Chrissy Lampkin started spreading like wildfire. What started as simple fan speculation exploded into one of the most jaw-dropping scandals Harlem has ever seen. Jim Jones, the man who stood by Chrissy's side for over a decade, reportedly lost his mind after hearing about what really went down. And if the latest leaks are true, this isn't just some rumor. This could be the final blow to one of hip-hop's most iconic love stories. It all started with a cryptic post that appeared on social media late Friday night. A blurry photo of Chrissy and Camron surfaced online, and though no one could confirm when or where it was taken, fans immediately recognized the setting. It wasn't a club. It wasn't a public event. It was a private lounge. It's the same one Cam used to host his Dipset parties in back in the day. The lighting, the wall art, even the drink menu on the table matched photos from old posts. Within minutes, the internet detectives were on the case. Twitter went crazy. Why is Chrissy sitting that close to Cam? One fan asked. Another said, Jim better check his girl before this turns into another Dipset disaster. Within hours, the hashtag Cam and Chrissy started trending. But that was just the beginning, because what came next turned the quiet whispers into full-blown chaos. A bartender who claimed to be working that night dropped a comment under the post, saying, "Y'all don't even know the half of it. Jim wasn't invited. Cam was acting real comfortable with her." Fans immediately started screenshotting it before it got deleted. But by then, it was too late. The story had already taken on a life of its own by the next morning. Several gossip blogs picked up the story, claiming they had exclusive insider details about the night. One blog alleged that Chrissy had been seen arriving separately from Jim and staying far longer than anyone expected. Another reported that she and Cam left together in a black SUV just after midnight. Whether it was true or not, the internet didn't care. The story was too good. Too explosive, too personal, and then came the most shocking part. Someone posted what appeared to be a short voice note between Chrissy and Camron. The audio wasn't crystal clear, but you could hear Chrissy's voice saying something like, "I shouldn't even be here right now," and Cam laughing, replying, "You know you wanted to pull up?" Fans lost it. The post was taken down within the hour, but hundreds of people had already downloaded it. Jim Jones' silence during all this made things even worse. Usually, Jim is quick to defend Chrissy online, but this time, nothing. No posts, no likes, no comments. Just complete silence. And that silence was deafening. Insiders close to the couple told Celebrity Trap that Jim found out about the rumor, not from Chrissy, but from one of his friends who sent him the clip. Allegedly, Jim was in the studio when he got the message. And witnesses say he completely snapped, throwing his phone, storming out, and shouting that everyone's going to see the truth soon. From that point on, the situation spiraled. Friends of the couple started choosing sides. Some of Jim's boys were reportedly telling him to let it go because the industry's full of fake stories, but others weren't so forgiving. One insider claimed Jim confronted Chrissy about it later that night, demanding answers, and when she tried to brush it off, he lost control. According to a neighbor, there was a loud argument that went on for nearly an hour, with shouting, doors slamming, and Chrissy leaving in tears. Cameras caught her outside later that evening, wearing sunglasses, looking visibly upset as paparazzi tried to ask her questions. She didn't say a word, but just when people thought it couldn't get messier, Camron added fuel to the fire. He went live on Instagram the next day, casually addressing rumors that people keep talking about. He didn't name Chrissy directly, but his tone was unmistakable. He laughed and said, "People always want to talk when they see two legends in the same room. Y'all need to relax." But then, with a smirk, he added, "Some people just can't handle seeing me happy." That line sent fans into meltdown mode. Was he throwing shade at Jim? Was he confirming something happened? The timing couldn't have been worse. Jim Jones reportedly saw the live stream and completely lost it. Sources say he unfollowed both Chrissy and Cam within minutes, a move that fans immediately noticed and documented. The comment sections turned into war zones. "Jim's hurt, y'all," one fan wrote. "You can see it all over his face in that last interview." Another added, "Chrissy really did him dirty if this is true." Meanwhile, people close to Chrissy insisted that the rumors were being blown out of proportion. One friend told Hollywood Unlocked, "Chrissy was at a private event. That's it. Nothing inappropriate happened. People are trying to create drama where there is none." But the damage was already done. The fans didn't want logic. They wanted drama, and this was the kind of story that spreads like wildfire in the hip-hop world as hours turned into days. Jim Jones' social media activity started telling its own story. He posted a cryptic message to his Instagram story that read, "Loyalty is rare. Never mistake attention for respect." That one line sent fans into another frenzy. Everyone knew who it was about. And here's where it gets even darker. Word on the street is, Jim reached out to someone close to Camron, demanding to know if the story was true. Whatever he heard must have shattered him completely, because insiders claim he hasn't spoken to either of them since that night. Now, fans are starting to connect the dots, the silence, the unfollows, the cryptic posts, and the emotional tension between these longtime friends. What really happened that night between Camron and Chrissy? Was it just a harmless reunion? Or the ultimate betrayal that broke Harlem's most loyal bond? Part 2 dives into what witnesses claim happened behind closed doors that night and how Jim Jones' rage may have gone much further than anyone realized. The days following the alleged secret night between Camron and Chrissy Lampkin were pure chaos. What started as whispers online had now erupted into a storm of accusations, fan theories, and emotional breakdowns from people who had followed Jim and Chrissy's love story for years. But behind the viral headlines and social media posts, insiders say something much darker was happening behind the scenes, because Jim Jones' reaction wasn't just emotional, it was explosive. According to multiple sources close to the Dipset circle, Jim completely disappeared for almost 2 days after finding out about the alleged link between Chrissy and Cam. His phone was off. His team couldn't reach him, and his family was panicking. Some even claimed he was driving around Harlem late at night trying to track down Cam for a man-tam conversation. And when Jim finally surfaced, it wasn't calm or collected. It was angry. Reportedly, he stormed into one of the studios where Camron usually records and started demanding answers from anyone who would listen. Witnesses told Celebrity Trap that Jim looked like he hadn't slept in days, pacing around, punching the walls and yelling that no one disrespects me and gets away with it. By this point, rumors were flying faster than anyone could control them. People online started saying Jim and Cam had gotten into a physical altercation, though no one had actual footage. But then came something no one expected: leaked CCTV. Footage from outside a recording studio that appeared to show Jim pulling up in a black Escalade, storming toward the door and arguing with someone who looked suspiciously like Camron. The clip was only a few seconds long, but that was all it took to break the internet. Fans immediately froze the video, zoomed in, and started analyzing every frame. "That's definitely Jim." One user posted, "You can see the dip chain around his neck." Others pointed out that Camron's security guard, hey, a big guy known from his Instagram stories, was clearly visible in the corner. The speculation reached such a fever pitch that both Jim and Cam's teams were reportedly forced to issue statements denying any physical fight. But by then, nobody believed them. Meanwhile, Chrissy's silence made things even worse. She hadn't posted anything on her socials since the story broke. Normally, she'd drop outfit pics, brand collabs, or even a cryptic quote. But this time, nothing. Fans flooded her old posts with comments like, "Say something, girl," and "Jim deserves the truth." Even celebrities started chiming in. One of Chrissy's former Love and Hip Hop castmates posted a not-so-subtle tweet that read, "It always be your own people. That's why I keep my circle small." That tweet alone reignited the fire. Everyone started connecting dots that may or may not have been there. But behind closed doors, sources say Chrissy did try to reach out to Jim, and it didn't go well. One insider revealed that she showed up to his condo, trying to talk things out, but Jim refused to open the door. She allegedly sat outside for over an hour before leaving. That image, Chrissy waiting emotional, while Jim ignored her, spread across fan pages like wildfire. The situation was spiraling fast. But then came the bombshell that nobody expected. A mysterious Instagram page popped up with the handle @Dipstrasipes, claiming to have proof of what happened between Camron and Chrissy that night. The account posted a screenshot of what looked like text messages between two unnamed people. But fans instantly believed it was Chrissy and Cam. The messages read, "You know I shouldn't be doing this. Then why are you here?" "Because I missed you, Cam." The post gained over 200,000 views in less than an hour before it vanished. Some say it was deleted. Others claim it was taken down by Instagram. But once again, screenshots had already circulated everywhere. Even if it was fake, it felt real enough to pour gasoline on an already burning fire. Jim reportedly saw the post live, and that was the breaking point. Sources say he called his team and told them he was done with everything, canceling a planned show and going completely dark. Later that night, he posted a black screen on his Instagram story with 3 words, "No loyalty left." Fans were heartbroken. One fan commented, "Jim built his life around that woman. If this is true, it's over." Another wrote, "Camron always had that slick energy. I knew this was coming." But it wasn't just fans speculating anymore. People close to both rappers started quietly unfollowing each other. Cam's longtime collaborator Joel Santana suddenly stopped liking any of Jim's posts. Freaky Zeke, another Dipset member, went live and said, "Man, I don't know what's going on, but Harlem ain't built for this kind of betrayal." And then came the final straw. A new clip surfaced online, allegedly recorded inside the private lounge that started it all. The video was grainy, but you could clearly see Chrissy sitting beside Camron, leaning in close and laughing while touching his arm. It didn't show anything inappropriate, but the intimacy was undeniable. The caption read, "So this is the night everyone's been talking about." The reaction was instant and brutal. Fans flooded Jim's comments with broken heart emojis. One even wrote, "This is how you repay 15 years of loyalty." By now, Jim was done holding back. For the first time since the scandal started, he went live on Instagram, his face cold, his voice shaking. "I don't owe nobody no explanation," he said. "But I'll say this, when people you love start acting like strangers, that's when you see who really for you." He didn't name Chrissy or Cam, but everyone knew exactly who he was talking about. Camron, never one to back down, responded just hours later in his own live. He laughed through the whole thing, saying, "Man, people really think I do my brother like that. Y'all gotta stop letting the blogs run your lives. Ain't nothing but jokes." But then, with a sly grin, he added, "Some people too emotional to be in this game." That one line broke the internet again. Jim's fans took it as a direct insult, and the feud that had been simmering for weeks finally boiled over. Behind the scenes, people close to both men were desperately trying to de-escalate the situation, but it was too late. The brotherhood that built Dipset, the same brotherhood that shaped Harlem's music scene, crumbled in front of millions. And while Chrissy stayed silent, sources claim she was completely devastated. She never expected it to blow up like this, one friend said. She said nothing happened, but Jim doesn't believe her anymore. Now the question everyone was asking, was this just another rumor gone too far? Or was there something deeper, a truth that could destroy more than just a relationship? Because according to one last insider, there's video footage that hasn't been released yet. Footage that could prove everything. And if that clip ever sees the light of day, it might end everything Jim Jones has built. Both in love and in loyalty, Part 3 uncovers what's allegedly on that hidden tape, and how Jim's fury might have pushed him to do something that could change his life forever. By the time week 3 rolled around, the Camron and Chrissy scandal had transformed from gossip into a national obsession. Every blog, YouTube channel, and podcast was dissecting it from every angle. But what nobody expected was the next leak, a piece of evidence so explosive that it made Jim Jones completely snap. It started on a random Tuesday morning when a small, anonymous Twitter account posted a 5-second clip with the caption, "This the real reason Jim's losing it." The clip showed Chrissy and Camron sitting close together in what looked like a dimly lit VIP section. You could barely hear what they were saying, but the body language told the whole story. Chrissy leaning in, Cam smirking, his hand brushing against hers. It wasn't explicit, but it was enough. Within minutes, the post hit 1 million views. Fans were tagging Jim left and right, begging for a response. "You're gonna let Cam play you like that?" One user wrote. Another said, "This is wild Harlem beef over a woman. Never thought I'd see the day." And this time, Jim didn't stay silent. He went off. Sources close to the situation told Celebrity Trap that Jim confronted Chrissy the moment he saw the video, not through texts, not through calls, but in person. One witness described the scene as tense, heartbreaking, and real. Jim allegedly walked into their apartment, threw his phone on the table, and said, "Explain this." Chrissy reportedly tried to calm him down, insisting it wasn't what it looked like, that Cam had been joking around, that people were twisting things. But Jim wasn't having it. "You made me look like a clown out here," he shouted, according to the source. "You let the whole world think I can't control my own house?" It wasn't just jealousy, it was betrayal. For years, Jim had defended Chrissy against critics, fought for her on TV, and even proposed to her multiple times despite all their ups and downs. Now, in his eyes, she had embarrassed him in front of the entire world. That argument reportedly lasted for hours. Chrissy broke down crying, begging him to believe her, while Jim paced back and forth, replaying every rumor, every deleted post, every cryptic message in his head. And when it was over, Jim reportedly walked out, leaving her sitting on the couch. Shaking. Later that night, Jim took to Instagram again. This time, there was no filter, no music, no flashy background, just him, sitting in silence before saying 6 words that sent chills through his fan base. Some people don't come back from betrayal. That one line hit millions. Fans started flooding his comments, offering support, heartbreak emojis, and messages like, "Stay strong. Capo, you deserve peace." Even celebrities chimed in, with one rapper tweeting, "If loyalty had a face, it'd be Jim. This ain't right." But while Jim was drowning in pain, Camron seemed completely unbothered until things took a wild turn. According to insiders, Jim's team was preparing to release a diss track, not a subtle one. but a full-blown lyrical attack aimed directly at Camron. The track, rumored to be titled "Loyalty Over Everything," was allegedly filled with references to fake friends, snakes in the crew, and a woman who broke the code. Camron, being Cam, heard about it and decided to hit back his own way. He posted a throwback photo of him and Chrissy from the early 2000s. Back when they were all friends, with the caption, "It was love back then. Need to rewrite history." That post broke the internet. It was like pouring gasoline on a fire that was already raging out of control. Jim reportedly saw it and went into full rage mode, according to one of his close friends. Jim was done talking and wanted to confront Cam face to face. Within hours, reports surfaced of a heated confrontation outside a Harlem restaurant where both men happened to be. Or maybe it wasn't a coincidence. Witnesses claimed Jim and Cam came dangerously close to throwing hands before their crews pulled them apart. "It was bad," one source told Celebrity Trap. "Jim was shouting, Cam was laughing. It didn't look friendly at all." The confrontation went viral within minutes. Fans were torn, some siding with Jim, calling him a man protecting his pride, while others defended Cam, saying he didn't deserve to be attacked over something that's not even proven. But deep down, everyone knew this wasn't just about Chrissy anymore. This was about trust, loyalty, and a brotherhood destroyed. And then, just when it seemed like things couldn't possibly get any worse, someone leaked the full video. The same anonymous page that had dropped the short clip returned, this time with a longer version, showing Cam and Chrissy in what looked like a private conversation outside the lounge. Chrissy was visibly emotional, wiping her eyes while Cam reached out to comfort her. The audio was faint, but one line stood out crystal clear. "Chrissy, Jim doesn't understand me anymore. Cam, you know I always have." The internet exploded. That was the confirmation fans needed to believe the unthinkable. The clip spread faster than wildfire, and within an hour, Jim Jones' name was trending in over 10 countries. Jim reportedly found out about the new footage while filming a studio session. According to witnesses, he smashed a monitor, stormed out, and drove straight home. He was done, one insider said. That was the moment he broke. For the next 24 hours, Jim was completely offline. No one knew where he was, and people feared the worst. Fans flooded Chrissy's old posts with comments ranging from sympathy to fury. "You destroyed him," one wrote. "He loved you more than life itself." When Jim finally resurfaced, it was in the form of a cryptic message. He posted a black and white picture of himself staring out a window with the caption, "Real love, don't need cameras. I just wanted peace." That post hit millions in under an hour. It was raw, vulnerable, and heartbreaking. For years, fans had watched Jim and Chrissy fight, love, and rebuild. But this time, it felt final. Meanwhile, Camron tried to do damage control, going live once again to say, "People editing videos now. Y'all don't even know what's real anymore." But nobody bought it. The damage was done. Jim had unfollowed him, unfollowed Chrissy, and reportedly packed up and left their shared home. Insiders now say the two haven't spoken since. Not a text, not a call. The bond between Harlem's two icons is shattered beyond repair. As for Chrissy, she's been spotted a few times since the fallout. Low-key, quiet, no makeup, and clearly broken. A source close to her told Hollywood Life, "Chrissy regrets everything. She says she didn't cheat, but she knows the optics are bad. She just wants Jim to forgive her. But forgiveness might be too far gone." Jim's closest friends say he's done trying to save people who wouldn't save him. The scandal that started with one blurry photo ended with 3 broken hearts and an entire fan base questioning whether love and loyalty can survive in the spotlight. Now, everyone's asking the same thing. Will Jim Jones ever forgive Chrissy? Or will this be the end of Harlem's most legendary love story forever? One thing's for sure. When love, loyalty, and betrayal collide, somebody always walks away bleeding. What do you think really went down between Camron, Chrissy, and Jim Jones that night? Was it an innocent reunion blown out of proportion, or a secret betrayal that finally came to light? Harlem hasn't seen drama like this in years. And every new leak just keeps making the story darker and messier. Jim and Chrissy's relationship has survived reality TV, public breakups, and years of pressure. But this might be the one storm they can't come back from. And with Camron still laughing it off online while fans uncover more supposed receipts, one thing's clear: this saga is far from over. If that hidden video really shows what people think it does, we might be watching the end of one of hip-hop's most legendary partnerships, and the final chapter in a love story that's been written in loyalty, pain, and heartbreak. But we want to know what you believe. Do you think Jim should forgive Chrissy and rebuild what they had? Or has the line of betrayal already been crossed too deep? Drop your thoughts.